It have been.
There's around Mo Salah to be elite.
This is an offense. This is a real question. Can someone answer this question? Two players from the green Liverpool side that won the Champions League and then the Premier League, right? Who was most flattered by Mo Salah's brilliance?
Let me land, boys.
Give me two.
Firmino and Trent.
Trent.
Yeah. Not Henderson. Not Robertson.
No. What? Robertson was a what? Robertson's
because
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because a lot of it was left to right. A lot of his success was left to right. Like Trent's success, Trent preferred Mane because he could actually find Mane. Trent doesn't find Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz the way he found Mane, so his assist numbers are actually reduced. A lot of Andrew Robertson was, and Trent, their success was.
Yeah, but when you're saying flat, are you saying
to a degree, catfish? Yeah.
Yeah, not Robert.
Well, not Trent either then.
I don't think it's Robbo because Robbo.
But Firmino, sorry.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's Firmino. That's one. I wouldn't say Robbo though. I wouldn't say Robbo because obviously first and foremost you want him to defend, which he was one of the best at doing that.
His question was though, Liverpool's team back. So we're talking Wijnaldum.
Yeah. Did he win Champions League? Was he in there?
Yeah, of course he did. He bunched up Barcelona.
Because he looked like he probably was world class at that time.
Sorry to jump here, but you said Somerset.
Yeah.
Somerset's a baller.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a bit early for me.
Yeah, but
Szoboszlai is a
he's the
baller.
best out of their midfield. But
He's
he's
a
not. And
baller,
obviously
bro.
their midfield is new, and he's looking like the piece that they need to build around.
I think their midfield's still suspect, though.
Yeah, because they don't have the right players. But we all know that he is something that's.
We do know that, yeah.
He's good.
But if you're looking through the team, I'd say there's more. At the moment, he might become that player, but I still say Trent in importance.
Of course.
Importance.
think
Importance. And then Salah.
I think Dominic, if you build around Dominic, I think you could get more. You could control the game more than Trent can if you get the right midfielder around him.
You got bare nose there, you know.
No, give me a
You
name.
were part of today?
Last week. Wow. Was it?
You need to go to the Turkish one, so they do that.
It was this weekend.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
In a helicopter. Again, without the injuries, and by the way, he's not injured right now, and his injuries have been settled. Virgil van Dijk is still probably that guy, though, isn't he?
Do you build around a 30-plus player?
32. There's a good question.
That's what I don't like.
That's a good question.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't like building around these 30s.
Nah, but I feel like he will go to 36.
Whoa. Nah, man.
I feel like Van Dijk will go to
the league, right?
I feel like Van Dijk will go to 36.
36?
How old is he now?
32.
Am I right in saying he's a bit troubled with injuries as well?
He has been previously. He's on a good run.
You think he won't be in the Premier 4 years?
So what, you think he's getting signed in the next 4 years?
Van Dijk will not be here when he's 36. No.
What about Alisson?
Alisson. Do you know
Alisson's the
what?
best goalkeeper in the world to me.
And he's still young, so.
He's 31. For a goalkeeper, that is still
You don't
quite
build
good.
around a keeper.
If there is a keeper you build around, though, if there was one,
Has there been teams that's built around keepers?
Oh well, there's a team that's currently doing it now.
Was Madrid at one stage? Did you just say?
Casillas. They moved Mourinho coming.
No.
Nah. They bought
So has there been any other teams?
I don't think so, no.
Hey, there's a team doing it now, though.
Who?
And we can see the results from that. You think about it.
Banana. That's the truth, though, right?
So who we saying? We build around Liverpool? Because I think we decided Rodri with Man City, didn't we?
Salah.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Salah.
I don't feel comfortable with Salah.
To be different, I don't think it's but just to go with Trent, but I think it's supposed to
Trent needs a lot of scaffolding.
You build around a player that needs a lot of scaffolding.
Yeah, because when you get the best, you're getting something mad.
The problem here is that usually I think maybe our minds will just go and build around a midfielder straight away. But because Liverpool haven't really got a midfielder, we're just using everything else.
And I think in 18 months you'll be right. In 18 months I think you'll be right.
Is there a criteria for building around a player?
Everything comes into it. Age, versatility.
The team circumstances.
When you're building a house, you need a quantity surveyor, you need you check the architecture, you need a plumber.
Supplier.
So now what are you? You're the supplier.
What's the most important part of that? The plan. Who is that in a football team?
No, what's first? The blueprint.
Who does the blueprint? The architect.
Jay-Z. Who's the architect? Who's Liverpool's architect?
Son Crane.
I'll be honest, the answer for both of these clubs, by the way, is Pep and Klopp. But yeah, Trent, I don't know if it's Trent, I don't know if Trent's the blueprint.
Who is yours?
I think it's Salah. I know he's 32.
Lemons, who do you think is?
I feel Salah's a loft conversion. I feel like he's a loft conversion.
The thing is, though, Salah, if Liverpool don't have Salah this season, they're not where they are, man. That's the
And last
fact.
season and the season before.
Yeah.
But Virgil van Dijk is there as well.
But Salah's just. When we heard he was linked to Saudi, he was thinking, yeah, go. Like, leave.
Oh, Van Dijk watches, so maybe he can comment and let us know.
You tell us, we can be building around.
Did you just call him IVD?
VVD.
Oh, I was about to say.
Boys, who do you build around at Manchester United?
And that's easy.
I tell you who he ain't.
No. He's the Man United man.
Yeah, that's easy.
You start.
It's Bruno.
I was gonna say that's who he ain't.
No, that's what it is.
Why is it not Steve-O? Just his temperament for me.
When you say temperament, what are you talking about? Him doing this and that?
Salah's got temperament as well.
100%.
He wants to win.
Trent has got temperament.
That don't happen if
When
we
you
win.
man say temperament, I feel like you're doing talk sport chat, man. Because you can't tell a man temperament from watching. Like, if he's, that's just a reaction.
For me, it's like temperament's not just anger. Temperament is game temperament, big game temperament, and the rest of it. Like, to be fair, he has shown up in big games. He does show up in big games.
He works his socks off, bro. So if he works his socks off and gets upset about
criteria for me, like that moaning, that disharmonising the team, for me is not a build around.
Yeah, but Steve, so this is what I'll say to you. Look at the circumstances at Manchester United. Do you know what it's nice to know? That there's a fan and a player that are on the same page.
Someone's trying hard.
And I watched Bruno now. I've watched Man United twice in a row. Bruno works his socks off, and then he complains after he's worked his socks off. When I feel like PK's right, it's too much sport chat, man. It's temperament, like he's working. He has every right to be upset.
Just because someone's running around, it doesn't mean they're doing the best for the team.
No, I'm teammates do love him, but I'm talking about Bruno. Because I watched the game where I watched Marcus Rashford with a great hairstyle strolling around, bro.
Great.
He looks so Sonic.
Bro, like I would be frustrated as well, especially with the where the team is.
Pete, poet. Next. Like you're right, but bro, there's ways like that frustration thing, bro. Most players are probably frustrated on the pitch, but they don't show it, mate. That is where professionalism comes in.
I think you should show it.
I watched Roy Keane for 15 years or 20 years, yeah. It was very rare. Like, I see him going crazy at players all the time, right? Because he wanted them to play at standard. It was very rare. Like dropping, like it was very rare.
Not an attacking player, not an attacking player. I think when you're an attacker, I saw when Min Son do it this week, David Gilles.
Oh my God, with the square ball he just played earlier.
Yeah, and I saw him, he's obviously top captain, and he's not like you don't hang him up as that's what captains are, when Min Son. But I think when you're an attacking player and you see the picture and they don't see the picture, that's a different level of frustration. There's someone in the midfield who's constantly like, I'm just in wars, let me go engage.
I've seen it a lot though, boys. I've seen it a lot.
No, he does it a lot, but we lose a lot. You get me? If we're winning, it won't happen. But United haven't built around Bruno since he's been at United.
I don't know what United built.
Exactly.
For who, by who?
Who was Casemiro bought in for? Not for Bruno. Was it for Bruno?
No way.
United haven't worked around Bruno since he's been there. It's been
not
for Bruno.
No.
At least let's give that a try. He's Ronaldo.
Not for Bruno. Actually, no, that's his
So if it's not Bruno, who are the other players?
Maguire.
No. Who are the options of building around?
Kobe Miner.
Yeah, because you ain't building around Marcus Rashford. Let's be honest.
That's scary that the options are very vast, right?
They're not very well.
Not very vast, yeah. They're scarce.
It's one and done, bro.
Rasmus Højlund, 10 Prem games, no goal, no assist.
75 mil. Vile German.
If I talk, they said I spoke. If I spoke, they said I'm speaking. So let me not talk.
I remember when Steve-O spoke to me about the Champions League competition, and I said, it's a bit. Rasmus Højlund, what a disappointment. I think Man United, barring Bruno Fernandes, I don't think there's anyone to build.
Who are we going to be wrong about? This Man United team.
Scott McTominay.
I don't think anyone here has written off Scott McTominay.
We have on this show.
You're hurting our new listeners.
Yeah, sorry.
Who do you think he can be compared to who you think we think he is?
Well, I remember when he was going to go to West Ham, and I was very, I wanted him a lot. And the boys were saying he wasn't even a West Ham player.
Does he get into West Ham's midfield?
Yeah. Now, I've put him over Souček still. He's on a good run of form.
What?
McTominay will score 10 times the goals at West Ham.
Don't do this to McTominay.
When I say who we're going to be wrong about here, who's going to show themselves to be a player that could have been built around? Is it Rasmus Højlund? Is it Lisandro Martinez? Is it Mason Mount? Are one of these players going to step up and be that level of player?
I feel like everyone hopes Garnacho will be he will.
I don't think you can build around him. I don't think you can build around him, but he's definitely a good player, but not interested in
No,
what's
but if someone's young, you can build around them, innit?
The other option, I guess, is what we mocked a minute ago, and that's Banana.
But they're doing it now.
Oh, Alessandro.
That's the thing. Is Lissandro the one we'll be wrong about? Where we go in 2 years' time, wow, this guy's going to be in the Premier League for the rest of his career at the top.
I actually think it's the other way around, and I think we had a honeymoon. Listen, I could be wrong, but I think we had a honeymoon period. With Martinez waiting for him to come back because of that honeymoon period, and it's just going to fart all over the place.
I'm hoping this copy Mainu. I'm not putting too much pressure on him because I think Man United fans are doing enough of that. But I think he looks like a really genuinely special. Like
Too early right now.
This is too early.
And they can't play him this season. He's still a kid. They can't
play him.
No, they can't play him every game.
No, they can't. That's why
He can't. He
he
won't
played
burn
it.
out.
Why can't he play?
He's 18, bro. This is
Why?
high level
Because he's
football.
back from injury.
Yeah.
Back from a long injury.
He'll get burnt out.
back for a
This is
while.
top tier football. You know.
They've been working him back. They're looking after him, and hopefully that takes the pressure off. Because, like I say, Man United fans are doing enough of a job putting pressure on him right now that no one else needs to help that.
Yeah, he's a future man.
It's pretty much Bruno, because it's the only choice.
He's the only player that's guaranteed to be there in a year based on performance.
Does Bruno get in any other big teams? Like the Madrids?
If you talk to his peers, absolutely.
Do you watch him in Portugal?
It's crazy.
Yeah, but they play Liechtenstein and that.
I know, but he's crazy.
And Farringdon FC also.
Man, he's good.
But
He's crazy.
if you talk to Fernando Bruno's peers, they tell you that they think he's the guy.
He's lovely, you know. I met him. Don't worry about that. He's lovely. Trust me. He's cold, bro. He said he wants to be a vet.
I think he'd be disappointed in the man he does that though.
But he does it. He does it again and again. I think
That's why you can't build around him though.
No, you can, man. Don't worry about his arms. I swear, don't worry. If I was playing centre back, I saw my Cam doing that, I wouldn't care.
Oh, I'll tell you, do you want to know someone who does that? Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, he's a baby. He moans. Big baby.
Mo Salah.
It's elite mentality. Trust me.
You lot don't want it like I do, man.
Alright, boys. If you were to rip the whole team apart, you had to keep one player to build around. Who from Tottenham Hotspur are you building around?
Can I go first?
You have gone first every time.
Have I?
No, land. It means you've done prep. I appreciate it.
I can't say his name.
Kulusevski.
I think that guy there now, he's a little bit off meaning. Again, I want him to be. If he has a bit more of that, and it's every game, he's like on it, like which takes a lot to get to that level. Then he has the ability to be Ballon d'Or, I believe, right? But he does lack a little bit of something. Now, do I think that's what he's lacking? I think you probably could have built around him because he's the sort of guy that he's part of the puzzle rather than the centerpiece.
Can I go?
I don't know if it's... go on, yeah, please, Master.
So we're doing, yeah.
Can I tell you my parents?
But what about Kovanovski? Come on,
No, he's great.
We'll come back to Kulusevski.
He's good. I don't think you build around him though. I think they should build around Van de Ven.
Van de Ven.
Van de Ven. I feel like they should build around him.
I don't think you build around a CP2 though. Sorry, that sounded very American. The second centre back, because he's a second centre back. No matter who he plays with, he's the second centre back. There's always a one, and there's always.
Are we only saying that because he's got pace?
But yeah,
because I think he's the better ball playing centre back than Romero.
But because he'll always be first to the ball because of the pace. That means he's not going to be the one controlling the line. He's always going to be a second.
They send him.
Can we just say James Maddison, please, and just stop all of this other stuff? This is Maddison, man.
With James Maddison with those injuries.
What about Basuma? I just don't like building around that type of player.
Oh, what do you mean by that, Steve?
I think he's more of a breaker than a starter. So I'd give it to my linchpin. You know what I mean? Like,
all things being equal, though, you probably are saying James Maddison at this point, right?
Yeah. If you're gonna,
why not, Jordy?
I'm with Steve.
Why?
Kulusevski. He's there. T.
Where is he?
Do you know what? He's been playing Cam.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be, but the guy that plays Cam is injured. Do you know what I'm saying? He can play anywhere across the three. He's got a left and a right foot. He hasn't got a lot of pace.
I suppose in pure technical terms, Tottenham are built around him now. Because it's Sarr and Basuma, it's like protect, and they built it for Maddison. You two deep, protect him. Yeah, and then Bentancur injured.
Does Kula get injured?
Kula Nkunku has had injuries.
It's
Yeah.
gets
Last year,
injuries, isn't it?
Last year he had a big one, yeah.
So basically, Tottenham have no one they can really build around.
I tell you what I love at Tottenham, by the way, and I think there were a few people that were questioning whether or not it was the right move or whatever when it first happened. I think Brennan Johnson, already at Tottenham, is a beast. I love him at Tottenham.
I like that. But if Bentancur, yeah.
If he's fit,
Bentancur.
Is he a player
He's a good player though.
that we build around?
Not for me. No.
I wouldn't build around him, but
We
he's a
haven't
good player.
seen it at Tottenham. When you do see it, for every now and then for Tottenham, you think that you
Of
of
course
course that's
but
the
not.
guy. But you don't see it 3-4 games in a row. On Kulusevski, by the way, he's only had one injury at Tottenham.
yeah.
Is it?
It was
a big
how
one.
long? 10 games.
It was a big
It
one.
was a big one.
10 games.
But he did have, it was only one injury.
Brother, even in these flat L's that they've been taking, he's
He's
always
balling.
amazing.
Yeah, it's him and Son. Him and Son have been going crazy this season.
Always a danger. Always a danger.
But the real answer is it's Maddison. But he just
But it can't be though, man.
yeah, you have to build around Maddison.
The injuries do make it difficult, though, don't they?
Bro, does he always get injured, man?
Yeah.
He's had a few big injuries.
Even at Leicester, he was. I would say he's an injury prone player. He's an injury prone player.
100%.
Really?
Yeah, man. 100%.
Yeah, in the last 3 years, he's had a 72-day, a 50-day, a 24-day, a 31 day.
72 cuz.
It's a lot of games.
He's effective when he plays, which is a shame.
What injuries are these, T?
Ankle, knee, hip, knee, hamstring, hip, head, ankle.
Nah, he needs to stop drinking, fam. His body's a mess.
But I'll still say Maddison. I still say Maddison. I'm telling you, he's their best player. He's their best creative player. Look, he's transformed the team. He works for Postecoglou. He's got the best out of Son. He's got the best out of other players around him. Kulusevski, when he's in that
Son's
team.
still going without him.
Yeah, but how many assists was he getting when he was assisting Son? He was assisting Kulusevski. He was getting their goals.
But we keep talking about Son, but we're not saying Son.
Because I'm scared because he's how old is Son? Is he 31?
Yeah.
He went back one.
Oh, they took a year off his age, didn't they?
What do you
Did
mean?
he? Alright, sweet. I'm going with Son.
Everyone in South Korea's age went back one. Why?
Is it?
Because of COVID.
It's because they won. They won when they were born.
They got a new calendar. It's because they got a new calendar.
They won when they won. So we say Dan Kulusevski then.
No, I'm saying Son.
Son, I'm saying Son as
Is
well.
it? Last minute change.
Oh yeah, Tottenham without Son in the last 5 years is a mess. If you got to tear down the Newcastle squad right now, one player that you're building around, who's that player?
His name is
Bruno, go first.
Bruno G.
Bruno G, you reckon?
I would have to say.
Joe Linton.
Yeah, right. He's the first person who's at the door.
No, it's not. There is a shout for Gordon. The age.
No.
Oh, he's flying.
He's lying it right now still.
I was so wrong
But
about
it's
Bruno.
Bruno, innit?
You don't build around Gordon, but he's in the squad. You come. You're one of my Arcadians.
What?
Yeah. You play your part.
What's
in the war. You play your part.
What war? What's that? What reference is that?
If you're not there, you're not there. I can't. I can bring you to the water, but you got to drink now.
You got to tell me that is water.
Man said you gotta tell me that is water.
You need to be told what's water.
You can't come to the wall, man.
Nah, stay away from my world, brother. Man, what's he going to be doing to that thinking that's not water?
Anyway, Bruno G.
Yeah, it's
Well, it's definitely not Tonali.
Nah, because you can't stay away from Paddy Power.
Sven Botman, who's a great centre-back, is injured, but Jamal Lascelles is cooking.
He's doing well.
He's cooking.
I can't believe it.
Bournemouth game. I think Dom Solanke got between the lines
Moved
quite
to them.
easily a few
Yeah,
times.
moved to
but
them. Big up Dom
overall,
Solanke.
Jamal Lascelles had a great spell in this first team for Newcastle.
Killed Arsenal.
They killed Eddie and Nketiah.
He's part of Arsenal.
They killed Arsenal.
He was great against United. He was great against United.
Lascelles, what are you doing, man? What are you taking over there?
He's their club captain, you know.
Whenever he starts,
He's
he
club
puts up.
captain, yeah.
Even when he comes on.
Because Sven Botman and Shaw usually play, so that means Trippier's captain, right? One time, right?
Shaw was on fire the other day.
Trippier, by the way, when we talk about Trent, Trippier's got 7 assists this year.
That's someone you could build around. But how old is he? He's getting on. He's like 31 now. 31.
33.
Nah, you can't build around him. They're arguing with fans and that. His concentration's low.
31s, 33s ain't like the Hold'em days. Like, them guys were like,
It's true.
top guys.
But let's ignore that because you're right, obviously. But we're talking about a right back here. Now, if we go back in time to Liverpool, it's like, oh, we can talk about a right back. But a man who's got 7 assists this year, who is very good defensively and is a good leader, who argues with fans, we're not talking about a right back. None of us are credibly thinking the answer's Kieran Trippier here, are we?
I mean, for Liverpool, I thought about a right back because they didn't have a Bruno G. Yeah, and on the field he said that.
They do have Dominic Szoboszlai.
But he's no Bruno G. He ain't no
It is
Bruno
Bruno
G.
G though,
He's
innit?
not. No, he's not.
No, I'm saying you do build around him though, innit?
So what, he's the real Bruno. He's the real Bruno. Is he the real Bruno?
Oh wow, who's the real Bruno is a great question.
He might be
There
the
could
real
only be
Bruno.
one.
Mars, it's Bruno Mars.
And he's Bruno G as well. So Bruno F and Bruno G. Bruno G sounds better.
Before Bruno Mars, though, who was Frank Bruno?
No.
What?
Frank Bruno.
Before Bruno Mars,
Before
it was Frank
No, before
Bruno.
Bruno was Sacha Baron Cohen. Bruno.
And then before him, it was Frank Bruno.
What about Bruno the dog?
What dog's that?
What?
There's a dog called Bruno.
Nah.
There's a cartoon called Bruno.
Nah.
There is a Bruno dog.
There is a Bruno dog.
Is there?
No, I don't know that dog.
You can't just type Bruno in Google. Add dog.
Bruno dogs. It's the third one. It's the third one.
It's the first one.
It's the third one. No.
Who is that? You don't know who that is.
That's not a movie on up here. That's someone's dog called Brad Bruno.
I said Bruno the cartoon. He's just showing dogs now.
Going back onto Newcastle. Can I go back on Isaac? Is there something? You think there's something around?
Mighty.
I
Injury
think,
prone as
I
well.
think he's replaceable. He's class.
Replaceable?
He's class. I just think what you've seen with Newcastle is there are goals to be found, and obviously with Trippier, with the way he crosses the ball, you put a player of a certain nimbleness with some aerial skills, goals are going to be
Because we're talking about a guy that can't even really keep Wilson up.
Yeah, if Wilson's banging, you kind of want to play Wilson more than you want to play Isak.
And if Wilson's moving your left wing,
Boys, with Bruno G, probably the easiest one. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but Aston Villa fans hate us.
I don't hate you. Oh no, I watched that episode. I was in hospital. You lot were having a bad takes.
Yeah, no, they hate us because Specs was like, Boubacar Kamara doesn't play.
He does play.
He does play every game.
Jacob Ramsey does play.
Jacob Ramsey's injured. He's been injured most of the season. But Villa fans hate us. If you're starting Villa again, you got to keep one of these players. Who you keeping?
Shut up, man. I'm gonna go for the first time for a striker. I'm gonna go Ollie Watkins.
Really?
I'm gonna go Ollie Watkins
I get
because
it.
goal scorers are hard to come by, T. And the fact that a side like Aston Villa have got a goal scorer, I go cold.
It's more than goals, though.
Your table's angry. What's that? He's always angry. It's much more than goals, but I'm saying goals are hard to come by. Just goals in general are hard to come by, and they've got that. So the fact that they've got that, they can just build around that.
throw his arms.
Who are you gonna say, Steve-O?
Temperament.
No. Just say
Douglas.
you back goals, and you've got the world's greatest goal scorer, and you're not building a team around him, but then you're going to build it around the guy that doesn't get.
I'm talking about Aston Villa.
Crazy.
So you're killing Watkins.
No,
You're killing
what I'm
Watkins.
saying.
You're killing Watkins.
You asked me the question, I answered it.
Yeah, but
Now
you just
we're
made it
moving on.
general. Let's make it specific. Aston Villa, go.
Aston Villa, me personally, until his injury, so yeah, it would have been Ramsey. He's the future, like, of Villa, England, all the rest of it, in my
Can't
opinion.
build the team around the future, though.
Ramsey, yeah. So I said it would have been, yeah, you're right, so I actually wrong. So
Ramsey.
for me,
You're right, you're wrong.
Douglas Luiz, love him.
He's
Absolutely.
gone. He ain't even
No, but
gonna.
we're not.
Yeah, but that's
we're
not what
doing
we're
that.
talking about.
That's not the game.
I hear it, but something still, to me, doesn't feel like that's the guy for Villa.
I know who the guy is for Villa.
Wasn't that the guy that didn't have he wasn't even like given a contract like last season? He was like had 1 year left or something like that.
We know.
No, you don't know.
We know.
You're a yardie. You don't care about that. Me and Jordy both know who
Who
it
is it?
Say it, Jordy.
His name is John McGinn.
Come on.
But it's not.
It is.
Do you think John McGinn?
Of course.
John McGinn's been there since.
He's been there since day one.
They tried to move him. They tried to move him.
And he fought
He
for
went
his
left. He came back.
And now
They
they're
look
winning.
good.
Did you see Ezri Konsa's tackle this weekend?
That was ridiculous. That was
That was
ridiculous.
Solanke, wasn't it? Yeah, where he got around, hooked it. It's not Ezri Konsa, by the way. I'm just saying. I just thought
Yeah, I
he
think I was
deserved
about to say,
to have that mention.
He deserves that for real.
deserves
Who's
it.
yours?
Pick up console.
Now, this is based on concentrating on him a bit more.
TME.
I'm going to say it probably is Kamara. Kamara is a
Pandering.
player that
Pandering.
teams... No, because Douglas Luiz is the panda pig.
Panda.
Douglas Kamara is a player that big teams need, and he plays for Villa. I think we knew that at the time. It was like, how have they managed to get this player that everyone thought was sick? And I think if he'd have gone to a team just below Villa, he'd already be at the top team right now. Because Villa have proved to be competitive and they're buying players around him, maybe there's less of a focus on Manchester City, Arsenal, or one of the big teams going in there and going, we're going to take Kamara off you. Right now, and maybe he gets moved for for Ramsey. I call him Jalen Ramsey, like the NFL player. But right now, I think if you could, he's the rarity in the Villa team.
I think goals are the rarity in the Premier. Like a striker that scores goals is a rarity. So that's why I would.
You can't do this. Stop going back to this well. You didn't let him land Haaland.
Watkins, come on, man.
I get what you're saying, but I've watched Villa as well, and it's funny. The last game I watched Kamara, and I thought because he give the ball away. I think he done one where he slid it back to strike.
That was dangerous. Yeah.
Right. So I'm saying he's still got a little bit of that, but when I'm watching Douglas Luiz, I'm like, oh, this guy's like he looks seasoned now. He's really come into it. How old is he? 26, possibly 25.
Yeah,
Like,
and he can do both positions. He could do the
but I know what he's saying is like. But I think he's that type of player that you don't see unless you're watching him or played with him. But I don't have that on confirmation, to be honest. Nah.
He's cold. He's a hybrid, man. He can do both positions.
He is class. He is class.
He's class. I just take McGinn because obviously he's been there for.
He looks great. He looks all.
But he'd probably be the last midfielder you build around in that team.
What's McGinn's position now as well, by the way, accuracy?
Midfield.
But where midfield?
He's just there.
Well, it's Kamara in the 6. It's
Kamara 6.
that kind of double 8.
Yeah, it's like a double
McGinn
eight. It's a
and
6 double eight because Luiz and McGinn they're both not 10s.
Okay.
So we rounded it off to.
Sounds like Douglas Luiz.
Sounds like Watkins to me.
Watkins, Luiz.
I'd rather go for if it's not
We're at the home of
McGinn.
Arsenal here in
Leon
North
Bailey,
London,
Scotland.
and everything points
I'd
to
give
an
it to
exciting
Douglas Luiz.
contest.
Leon Bailey, come on, he just gets 2 games.
No, Leon Bailey's going crazy. He's going crazy, bro. He's not going crazy, boys. Leon Bailey.
Look at my yardie, though.
Cool, say no more. Aston Villa fans, on Julian.
He started 21% of games this year.
He's not going crazy.
37% of minutes.
He's not going crazy.
And that's without injuries.
He's getting goals.
Lumos. We're checking out Jamaica, but listen, Leon Bailey.
You're just trying to shout him out because he won a bucket for Christmas. Exactly. He's going to be out there as well. You know he's going to be out there.
Jordy made a point to me the other day that he's kind of second fiddle to Diaby, right?
Yeah, 100.
Obviously sick. But Jordy made the point, that's what he was doing at Leverkusen. That's why he left Leverkusen.
He's running from the army. So what happened at Leverkusen? And my man came to.
Yes, so boys. Yeah, so have you noticed a little thing here that the better teams, the teams that are doing better and stronger, have more
Good players.
No way! No way! No. Let me rephrase that. The better teams have what?
Quick, Lane's on fire.
What you would expect at United for them to have more than one player that you could build a team around, right?
Because we will be wrong.
Okay.
We will be wrong. Because different coaches get different stuff out of different players, and you know, a player can unlock another player. Like if this guy wasn't supposed to be playing with Sandro Martinez, we know that Ten Hag doesn't think Rafael Varane's that guy. We know he thinks that Harry Maguire's not that guy. So whoever the guy is, that might make Sandro Martinez into the perfect centre back. He's already proved himself to be a pretty good one.
We never would have said Basuma at one point, but Ange makes it a conversation.
I always saw something in Basuma though.
Everyone did. It's just that Conte didn't.
Yeah, it was just that year.
It's just that Conte's blind.
Douglas Luiz.
Douglas Luiz, but last team we're going to do for this episode,
Anderson.
Arsenal.
And the Raptors
You tear the Arsenal team down, PK Humble,
timely defending
and
when
you
it
build
matters.
around one of their current players. Who is it?
We all know it is.
Well, let's get more details.
It's
on
tough.
the injury
It's tough.
situation from
Yeah,
our
it's not
football
tough.
reporter,
Oh
Kim
really? Because Saliba.
It's between Saliba and Saka for me.
Jermaine PK's going.
Miles' mum made son.
Well, of course he can score, but what?
I'm going with Saliba because Saliba, you ain't. Saliba's young. Yeah. Stone. Yeah. Like, yeah. You ain't getting that. You ain't getting that. Comfy on the ball. He's got everything.
There's no other 22-year-old Salibas.
Come on.
Yeah. Like, you ain't really seeing him get cooked. He got cooked once.
He got cooked twice. Why he killed him twice? Why he killed him twice?
Oh,
And return
he was
to
traded.
I don't say there's a cooking. It turned on the microwave.
I think getting cooked
I've
is
seen him get
different.
cooked once.
Centre-backs high up the pitch with players running past them, that is not centre-back getting cooked. Sorry.
I've seen him get cooked once.
Watkins.
Ollie Watkins
Yeah, that's
cooked
it.
him.
Brother, he was not running appropriately after why he put the ball through his legs and like,
Forget that
why
one.
he got cooked, bro.
Right, he got cooked by that.
He got
Why?
cooked, bro.
But
Situation
cooking,
dangerous.
Ollie Watkins cooked him.
Cooking's 90 minutes of cookery, you know. Like, cooking is not putting something on a little fry and it sizzles up, you know, that's not cooking. That's not cooking. Making eggs is not cooking.
That means he ain't been cooked then. That means he's never been cooked then.
So he's undercooked. He's undercooked.
I think centre backs getting cooked is a weird fascination that it started with Virgil van Dijk, because Virgil van Dijk was so flawless in his off the ball, and obviously the way he carried himself on the pitch for Liverpool meant that rival fans were obsessed with the idea that he can get got, he will get got. They lost that game to Villa, there it is, and you kind of go, okay, you're hanging your whole hat on Virgil van Dijk's one game. So when people talk about William Saliba, whether it's against Holland, whether it's against Ollie Watkins, whatever, like PK says, it's not 90 minutes.
Yeah, of course.
It's not, and it's also not like you say, it's not like you didn't get your chain back, you didn't go back and bully him the next time around.
Facts.
So I think people are kind of obsessed these days with the idea of a centre back getting bullied and then putting a meme up of some guy and going full 90-minute highlights and it's Specs Gonzalez doing drills, and they go, that's Saliba's highlights, and it's like, it's such a repetitive, draining thing that we do in football Twitter and football social media now. Saliba's consistently, since becoming a Premier League starter, there is not another one of him.
Second best centre back in the world.
It's feeling like that.
I'll build it around Rice though, personally.
But to me, it's Declan Rice.
Yeah, I'm building it around Declan Rice.
And that's mad because he was at West Ham last year. But he's a monster.
Because he can walk into any team.
And see, there's a secret.
And start.
There's a secret that Arsenal haven't even come close to exploring.
He
can play centre-back.
Yeah.
There might be a time in a European
Hopefully we
game
don't.
where he plays centre-back.
Hopefully
and
we don't.
Arsenal progress the ball from centre-back with a Jorginho who can link and control.
Boys, can I just throw a name in the hat who's already in the hat, they are building around, and that's Odegaard.
Yeah.
Like for me, I made a wild statement a few years back. T gonna think it's wild because it is I think he's gonna be a Ballon d'Or. I said nominee. Now no, I'm saying top 3 in the future. He's gonna win the Ballon d'Or.
Like you say, yeah,
He's gonna win the Ballon d'Or.
I'm gonna say the chess, man.
He's gonna win the Ballon d'Or. No, he's good.
If
Stepped off now.
he's built around it.
Yeah, of course.
He's unbelievable. Without him, this team does not. It doesn't exist.
He doesn't look as fluid.
No, it doesn't look as fluid. So many of the pieces that have come in around him and around the team would not have come in if it wasn't for the starting point of Martin Odegaard. Odegaard joined a team that was not ready for him.
But who does when Odegaard gets the ball, who does he look for? Saka. Oh, so you're throwing him in the hat?
Saka's in there, yeah, man. But I think he's probably third, fourth on the list.
It's Rice.
It's Rice.
Everyone, come on, man.
And I want to know what Pep would have done with him.
Who Rice?
I want to know what he would have done with
Because
him.
they don't play 2 in the middle.
Maybe they would have done.
Maybe they play Rice with.
Because if they played Rodri and Rice,
That's not fair.
it's game on.
That move, that's the best thing Arsenal done. You know.
It might be.
Rice stopping that move. Yeah, 100%. You didn't stop that move. We would have like Bundesliga.
Even if Pep saw him as a centre back with that stepping into midfield thing.
Oh yeah.
Cheating.
Yeah. That move had to stop. So there'd been a Kanji, Ruben Diaz, Rodri. That's not fair.
You know that secret that he's saying about Rice going back, which was like, well, you're right. I think he's more looking forward though, innit? Right? You've seen him, he's more joining in now, he's looking like he's going to end up a player that will probably get you 10 goals over a season.
Overall, his game across 90 minutes is a defensive game. When it's high, even when it's high up the pitch, he's playing defensive football.
Because even against Lens, he wasn't really bombing on to get goals.
He's transitioning and absorbing and...
Was it Wolves or Lens? I think he made like 3 challenges in a row after losing the ball.
Yeah.
Stephen, was he really that? You was telling us this about West Ham.
About 4 years ago, yeah.
You said, you know, what was it? We leveled him up though.
What?
Yeah, we made him a bit better.
The players around him made him a bit better.
Was he really this good at West Ham?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn, man.
Now he's getting to do it.
You should watch someone else up in an Arsenal.
No, I do, obviously. But no one was watching Declan Rice as Arsenal fans as much as we would watch.
There was some Arsenal fans that were. There were some people.
90 minutes of every game.
Yeah, and he didn't miss minutes. And because the problem was he was so classy and so calm and composed that when West Ham would concede a goal, you could fool yourself into thinking, where was Declan Rice? Declan Rice was exactly where he needed to be. Other players weren't necessarily where they needed to be. So you got to really root for Rice at West Ham if you're trying to compare him to top Man United, top City, not Man United, sorry, top City, top Liverpool, top Arsenal player.
The Euros, he was good as well with Calvin Harris. Calvin Phillips. Lowney, man.
Alright, so just quickly, out of all those players we mentioned, which player in the Premier League do you build around out of all those players we mentioned?
Bruno Fernandes. Or in the whole Premier League now.
Those players we mentioned of all those teams. So Bruno Fernandes, Declan Rice, Douglas Luiz,
And return to
Trent Alexander-Arnold,
Honestly,
James Maddison.
it's Declan.
It's Declan because I think Declan is better than all those players in his position at every team.
Okay, so what we got there is an Arsenal fan and an Arsenal fan.
I'm being honest.
And hold on, no, let me land.
Oh, don't we mention Rodri, didn't we?
Let me land. You've got an Arsenal fan, and a West Ham fan. So, Jordan, you're probably best positioned to offer the most balanced take. Which player in the
Why don't you
Premier
start?
League?
looks more than decent.
Biased.
I'm gonna.
He went for
I'm gonna make it. It was
Flick up at the end, didn't it? Flick up at the end. Concentration levels
the concentration of the FM will be
Woo! Why? Because I said Alan.
We didn't mention it.
Yeah, but Rodri. Yeah, that's you lot didn't mention it. I mentioned it.
Out of the players we mentioned.
We mentioned him earlier on. Yeah.
Okay, so
We
now
mentioned.
we're in the mud. Let's get out of the mud. Of the players that we selected as
Oh, selected. Okay, not mentioned. Selected. Use the right.
I'd have to say, moderator, Rodri.
You can't really
Over Declan Rice, you reckon?
expect to get away with
Well,
it.
listen.
Looking to come, you would
Declan Rice is younger.
Yeah.
He's not better yet. No, he's not better. Not yet.
He's not that much on man.
Nah.
No, it's not.
Remember we said there's a criteria
Good run,
that
mate.
Declan's probably
Yeah,
got
what can he do
something
with it?
more to the
Yeah,
criteria.
but Rodri's young, you know.
Yeah, he's
Someone to
27.
play it to.
He's still here for another
That's
good
an
few seasons.
important piece of defending.
Rodri scores too. Rodri scores too.
Rodri does score as well.
PK, based on the players that
And
we
there's the
selected, then
delivery.
I'm gonna go with Trent.
Trent.
Yeah, because Rodri.
Lads.
At the expense
If you're
of
gonna
a
build
goal.
around the team, you're gonna build around the team with someone that you can't get elsewhere. In that position, in centre mid you can get Rodri. In centre mid you can get Declan Rice. You got other guys that you can get. You can't get another Trent. So I'm gonna go with Trent.
Spoken like a true right back. Filthy at 5.
You thought you got to
See us on Spotify, see us on Apple Podcasts, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for coming, everybody.
With the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card, earn unlimited 2% cash back on purchases you want, like dance lessons. And on what you need, like memory foam inserts. That's real life ready. Visit wellsfargo.com/activecash. Terms apply.
Pushing it through and tossing through. And a goal to seal the hat-trick. A masterclass in finishing.
What else is there?
That's how you coach says. That was one of the best performances. I mean, it's on a bus in the UAE where the 100 CIA agents with guns because of the war, and you're rapping, freestyling
In other words, why can't you do it in front of this audience? What the heck's wrong with you?
I've never seen you turn one down.
Alright, here we go. Alright. Hey, we can rap about.
You pick it, brother.
The show, man, the show.
It's the boy named Clint. These haters, they got me banned.
Good to have you with us, Thomas Ronkin. You're a CBS colleague, right? You work with us at CBS at HQ. You're also the man, well, you were the former US men's national team U20 manager, and you're the man who just happened to discover Clint in Charlie. So we wanted to get you on and just kind of tell us that story, how that went.
Well, first, royalty. 200 plus caps hier. Dus best Deutsch. Clint, Charlie en een beetje Mossbeck. Wij zijn gar niet Bobby. Richtig. And there's different stories here. I went to Furman Clemson to see Stuart Holder, who played for Clemson, and Ricardo Clark was already part of my under 20s because we were very late in the process in our preparation for the 2 of 3 World Cup. And actually got pushed back because of Desert Storm, the war. That's how Clint actually became the last player to make it. So I sit there for 5 minutes and I'm going, whoa. First is in midfield. He's got number 2. Well, I come to the Ajax system. Number 2 is a right back, in terms of numbers, 1 through 11. And this cat is just wheeling and dealing, trying things that I've not seen before of any other American player, quite frankly.
If you want to eat healthy and feel your best, you gotta try Kachava. Kachava is the world's healthiest all-in-one meal shake. It's made with over 70 plant-based superfoods and nutrients. Giving you all your essentials in one delicious meal.
Cheers!
Oh yeah.
Just water, 2 scoops, blend and go. A complete meal in seconds to keep you going for hours. Only the...
Don't eat a banana until you watch this. This, and this is what I call a testosterone killer. As men, we got
Shit, Ted.
Man, Scotty, I'll be real honest with you, because I will look at 207, 208, 209, because all three of you ended up at the same time, pretty much at the senior men's national team. Different routes. You threw, first pick in the MLS draft, rookie of the year, boom, here you are. And I did go, because at that time, I lived still in D.C., because I coached D.C. United for many years, and won championships. I stayed there when I was the under-20 coach, so I did go to Maryland quite a lot. And I had no idea why he never even got on my radar. Because I got decent eyes. In saying that amazes me if I look back at your career and what you could have done also for my other 20 team. So, yes, okay, I missed quite a few guys. My team at that time was mostly college guys. I tried to travel as many cities as I could to watch guys play, as I did with Furman and Clemson. I wasn't playing every time, and I had to pick the best college players, and for whatever reason, Mo, I didn't pick you.
No, but I mean, in fairness, right? Like, that can be difficult, though, you know what I mean? For sure. I mean, you gotta catch the player on the right game. How many games did you watch each player play? You maybe go to see them play twice in a year, and they had to show out.
And you were wearing a Bojangles knee brace, too, so that wasn't a good look.
We still cut y'all with that new bracelet, too. Hey, I got you together. They put a statue in D.C. I put a banger on them over there. And it just speaks to the different pathways, you know what I mean? And everyone doesn't peak at the same time, so maybe at that time there were players that you felt were better. So I don't take it as a slight. In my mind, I was working towards something, and it was just fueling my fire, motivation. I wanted to get to that point. I wanted to get to that position. It didn't happen in that moment, but it wasn't going to deter me. It wasn't going to stop me. I was just hungrier.
Hey, what about you? Played your whole career over here, right? In America, NASL, played with Cruyff. Yes. I mean, as a Dutchman too, that's got to be special, right? Any memories that stand out? Anything you can share?
I was 21. I was an okay player, but not great. Rinus Michels, the great Rinus Michels. If we talk about generational or in the last century, the best coaches, probably Rinus Michels and Johan Cruyff, that shaped the game, that Pep Guardiola in Manchester City are playing right now. Calls me and goes, I have $1,000 a month, you can share a car with an American. I'm 21, I just finished my studies. Hey, you gotta say yes or no when you want to come to LA, because he became the coach of LA Aztecs. I get her there, Johan Cruyff becomes a teammate, Wim Surbier, who played in 2 World Cup finals, also from Ajax, Ruud Krol, quite a few Dutch players. And I played as a 6, so every game I had to mark number 10. So, George Best, today you can mark George Best. And he was a 21-year-old, all heroes of mine. Cruyff the biggest, because I'm from the Netherlands. An incredible experience in terms of...
How did that go, marking George Best?
Have you ever seen his best goal, George Best, in the NASL had award for the best goal of the year. It was 1980-81 best goal. It's against the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. We scored a big-time offsides goal. Gerd Mueller, by the way, was a teammate. Because I speak German, he was my roommate. Long story, but whatever. Best is upset. So he gets the ball from the kickoff. Goes past that 2 forwards, then it could be as a girl that didn't defend. I'm the first confrontation. He nutmegs me. He stops, allows me to come back again. He gets around me again, cuts a few more people, upper V. I don't know if you guys ever been in the San Jose Stadium. Takes the ball, you're gonna go upper red. This is before the half. Gets in his car, never returns for the goal, for the game. But that becomes the goal of the year. Where I look silly, which I'm proud of, by the way.
That's why they shop at Ollie's Burgers. You'll save up to 70% off the fancy stores prices. So you go, you smart and savvy shopper. You know where the real deals are, where they sell good stuff cheap. Ollie's! Good stuff cheap!
This is looking good. Now what comes next?
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. Discover the joy this holiday season and get 1.9% APR, plus current eligible non-GM.
So there's another connection here, right, which is your first game back that you played after the car crash. You were broadcasting that, you were doing the commentary. You remember that?
Very much so. DC United is a legendary club in Major League Soccer, iconic, and he was one of the coaches that had helped really put this league in a competitive spirit and developing top players and coaching top players and having helped me on my pathway to becoming a professional. All of a sudden, making it to that point where we're beating Spain in the Confederations Cup, scoring in Azteca, living my dream, so close to finally playing in a World Cup, cut short because of this car accident. And then realizing, okay, there's bigger things to life than sports and soccer, but I have to promise myself that I gotta do everything I can to get back what I've lost. Because sometimes we take things for granted, and not that I didn't put everything into the sport, but I knew I took things for granted because I shouldn't have been in the position that I was in. So I said I'm going to commit myself 24 hours a day to get back on the pitch. And there was questions if I'd be able to run again. So I finally get an opportunity to take a loan to DC United from my French club, Sochaux. In my first game back, it's a year and a half. I'm nervous. I come off the bench, and we get a penalty kick, and the captain, Dax McCarty, picks up the ball, and he hands it to me, and he's like, here's your moment. And so that was the match where I felt I was reborn, not only as a player, but as a person, because I understood how hard I had to work to get to this point, and how much harder I have to work to sustain that level, but the appreciation for the game, and the support that I had, the love that I felt in that moment is indescribable. And Thomas Rongen was in the booth, and he was calling those goals. I scored 2 goals, and against Chad Marshall, who he also helped develop, which was just one of those magical moments that will always stand out in my life. What was going through your mind seeing me and
First, all that rehab you had to do. First, guilt.
Guilt?
Yeah, because I care deeply about the guys that I try to touch as best as I can so they can move up and play for a senior team. I thought was my role as an under-20 coach. Develop them, make them better, which in all cases, although more different, but in your cases that did happen. I never called you after the accident. And we had a connection, yeah. Clint is more distant.
And a corner to come.
But I also feel very bad about Clint because I knew that he lost his sister. And I lost my daughter probably a few months after 2 or 3 World Cup. I get a little emotional. I never reached out to him because I do understand what he went through, and I know how big his sister's role was in your life. So I don't feel good about that. In saying that, it was an incredible occasion to call the game, obviously, and you do score, and you come back from this tragic situation and nobody thought you would even walk. So that's in itself obviously incredible.
Can I ask you a question? Is there a reason you didn't make those goals that now you say you wish you did?
I really don't know, Kate. I mean that sincerely. I didn't cry for 2 years. And I knew what he was going through, but I just couldn't pick up the phone, and I didn't know where to start. And I'm Dutch, I'm direct, so my emotions were all over the place, and I should have done, looking back, I'm almost 70, a better job in staying in touch, not just with a few, but with all the guys that I really genuinely cared about during my time that I touched you guys for a year or 2 at the under-20s, and I didn't. Something
you learn from, obviously.
I mean, I feel like you should never lose sleep about anything with me. You gave me the opportunity of a lifetime. You allowed me to go Project 40, being on that U20 team, allowed me to go pro. Forever, I will be indebted, grateful for that. You know what I mean? And then even though we don't talk, there's always love there. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how big that was for me. So, you know, in terms of me and him, even though we don't talk that much, it's always been love.
I know that with most of my players. It seems like I have a unique ability to have something about me that players, I don't know, I'm Dutch and democratic. I allow them to think with me. I make mistakes, they make mistakes, and I think my human side allowed these guys to get a little bit closer to me than to other coaches. And most of these guys that came back, Josie included, Eddie Jones that played for the MLS team, where they didn't play all the time. They would come to the under 20s where they would play all the time and enjoy those experiences, just like I did, because these guys just loved it. And those groups were always tight-knit.
Fun fact, people will still be impressed when you surprise them with a treat from McDonald's, even when you got it for free using reward points. Because no one has to know you got it for free. Earn free food with the app.
This is 5-day hair with a heatless blowout, and I'm going to teach you how to do it because this has changed my life. Okay, rewind 4 or so days ago, we start off with a really good shampoo and conditioner in the shower, and I'm obsessed with the replenishing moisture line from Alterna. This formula contains omega-3s and antioxidants, and
Oh, that was a brilliant effort. I did need one of the teams to get through on goal.
more tight-knit of a group, and I look forward to the stories that we're going to hear in the future.
Thank you for watching. If you liked this episode of Kicking It, then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to enjoy more raw and unfiltered content from me and the boys.
Are you tired of getting told you need to invest but not thinking you can afford to? Well, that changes today with Legal. Legal lets you invest with as little as $5. And there are no commissions.
Shut up. Put up in those 13, goddamn. 13, 38. I don't know what I mean, bro. That's not one. Tra la 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 la. Oh, fuck. Let's see, give me a damn. What's this one, I guess? I don't know.
Brighton,
he's finished.
Galatasaray, Man City, Newcastle, and now Bournemouth have all scored 3 times at Old Trafford this season. The former fortress is now so easily penetrated. And today's result, that result against Bournemouth, is the most significant. It's huge. It's Bournemouth's greatest ever result. But for Manchester United, it is one of the most significant because this is the result that confines Erik ten Hag to the ash heap of history. Erik ten Hag will be sacked by Manchester United fairly soon. I am so confident. There is no way that this can continue. There is no way that he can keep his job. There is no way that Erik ten Hag can be at the helm for the long haul. This project is over. Erik ten Hag will be losing his job. I am convinced. Is it fair? Definitely not. Is it just? Absolutely not. Is it correct? Probably not. But football is an unjust game. It is not a meritocracy. It is not fair. And Erik ten Hag, unfortunately for him, is going to have to pay the price. I believe that he is a symptom of a club that is failing. He was almost set up to fail, but there is just no way that he can keep his job, and the players are so clearly not buying into him. They are clearly not adopting his philosophy, and when the players turn, there is nothing that can be done. Trust me, I'm a Chelsea fan. By the way, how bad must Chelsea be? This Manchester United team looked like Sir Alex Ferguson's treble winners the other night, and Bournemouth, hooray, a round of applause, has played him off the pitch. But for Ten Hag, I truly believe it's over, and as a Chelsea fan, let me just shed a bit of light that I think Chelsea fans can speak on really correctly. We are well versed, we've seen it all before. When a group of players stop buying into a manager, regardless of how brilliant that manager is, regardless of whether that manager deserves to be sacked, the manager cannot continue. There have been countless excellent managers in their peak, who have lost their jobs because a crop of fairly average, distinctly average sometimes, footballers stop buying into it, stop trying, stop adopting the philosophy, and stop working as hard as they should. And I believe that has happened at Manchester United. That crop of players are not fighting for the badge, they aren't fighting for the fans, and they most certainly are not fighting for the manager. Now look, Ten Hag has made some very brave decisions, and you know what, I respect him, I like him to a degree. I think he's more limited than some people think he is, but I also think that there is nothing that he can do at that club. But some of the decisions that he made, I believe, could be haunting him. Having Marcus Rashford on the bench could be the one. Jadon Sancho, his handling of that, maybe that is going to contribute to his downfall. Rafael Varane, who knows? There are far too many incidents where he has fallen out with players, and Jadon Sancho's approach to this is very revealing. You could tell that Jadon Sancho knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that he believed at least that he could outlive Erik ten Hag at Manchester United. Jadon Sancho, he wasn't desperate to get back in the first team, he wasn't ready to apologise, he left his comments as his pinned tweet. That is the disrespect that he had for Ten Hag, and, if not Ten Hag, simply the office of Manchester United manager. You have to respect the office of being Manchester United manager, if not the individual in charge. And The lack of respect for that office and therefore for Ten Hag shows us that Sancho believes that he can outlive Ten Hag. And I believe a lot of these players are now at a stage where they believe that they can outlive the manager. So what's the point? There's no leadership. I couldn't believe Bruno Fernandes today getting himself booked. So he now misses the Liverpool game. What sort of team is that? What sort of leader is he? How can he possibly do that? And now that is another example as to why I think it's so unjust that Ten Hag will lose his job. But the players quite simply are not fighting for him. And it really is that simple. Eric Ten Hag will be replaced. Because today...
Good defending to end a decent looking attack. Lovely ball, this could lead to something.
It was diabolical from Manchester United. I mean, there have been some very bad, abject performances from Manchester United this season, but this one, undoubtedly, the worst performance of the season from them.
And it's behind for a
like,
corner.
there have been some shockers. It's been a dreadful season for Manchester United. But I think today's performance was about as bad as it could possibly be, and about as bad as it has been. They are a club that are all over the place. They make no sense. They didn't come close to scoring a goal today, at home to Bournemouth. They went away to the Allianz and scored 3. They look like a team in total and utter disarray today. And yet, they look like Ferguson's treble winners against Chelsea. Nothing makes sense. There's no continuity. There's no sense of leadership. There's none of the values that you demand from a football team. Like in terms of cohesion, team spirit, unity, fight, hunger, determination, urgency, aggression. Bournemouth won every single one of those conversations. Bournemouth were intense. Manchester United were most certainly not. And the contrast between Bournemouth and Manchester United just showed you everything that you need to know. And you look at the record of Manchester United this season, like, that's... It's their 11th defeat in 23 games in all competitions. 7 defeats in the Premier League. 7 out of 16. 7 out of 16. They're not far off losing 50% of their Premier League games. How can Eric Ten Hag possibly survive? You look at Manchester United's front three. I'm serious, Dom Solanke was the best forward on the pitch. Think of the money that has been spent on Manchester United. Like Anthony Martial was playing. How is Anthony Martial still a Manchester United player? And when we analyse something like this is why it's so unjust on Ten Hag. Ten Hag will lose his job, I believe that. But I also believe that it's so unjust. How can Anthony Martial still be a Manchester United player? How? How can Victor Lindelof still be a Manchester United player? Do you remember when Liverpool battered Manchester United 5-0? One of the overriding images, it was years ago, my overriding image of that day was Lindelof all over the place. How can he still be at the club? It's woeful. But you know what, a word on Bournemouth, I thought that they were splendid today. They did incredibly well, and look, Iraola, his time at Bournemouth was sort of slow to start, wasn't it? But he really has got going, and the momentum is up. And I heard Dom Solanke speaking after the game, and he basically said that they feel like they can beat anyone, they feel invincible, and that's 4 wins in 5 league games for them. And do you know what, all over the pitch, they excelled. They were so much better than Manchester United from top to bottom. But I believe that today is the day that Ten Hag effectively lost his job. Regardless of how it goes from here, I just do not see a world where he can possibly survive. They were so bad, they were so woeful, everything is gone wrong, and they have the little matter of Bayern Munich. Now look, Bayern Munich got battered today themselves, they lost 5-1, but Manchester United are going into a game at Old Trafford against Bayern Munich where they need goals and they need to win. And when you look at the performance today, where are they coming from? Martial? Definitely not. Anthony? Woeful today. And Garnacho was terrible in the first half, wasn't he? You know, slightly better after half time maybe, but the other two weren't. So I just don't see how they have any hope of beating Bayern Munich and getting anything out of that game. But for Ten Hag, it's back to the drawing board, but for how long, I really do not know. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you agree with me? Do you think Ten Hag is now done, even if that is totally unjust for him? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Click subscribe as well. I'd love to welcome you to this community.
The ball is lost, and the chance has gone to...
Ho, ho, ho! Get 30% off all items, $10 enough. Perfect for stocking stuffers. Inside Track members get 30% off all items, $20 enough. See you this weekend, Bar Free.
Nothing doing.
Statement to make. But we signed in. I hadn't obviously signed yet. I was like, who is he? I kind of think he's number one, never heard of him. I'm on the car, back the car on his YouTube, big Vicario highlights, to see if he's any good.
They're decent,
They're all right to be fair. He's very calm. Like he doesn't really panic. Brilliant shot stopper. That's the one thing that I think he's hard to score past. I sometimes will practice penalties and stuff and shooting at the train. I want him in goal because
it's hardest to get
he's the hardest to score past.
Some of the saves he's made this season already, some of the goals he's prevented. But he don't ever like make a song or dance about it. He don't get up and wave his arms around. It's like that's just his job. And there's not many players like that anymore, is it? Because everybody seems to like be a bit too like they just love the acclaim or something. He just gets on with it.
You keepers, man, you just make a save and you just want to shout at someone, don't you? Like
that's Jordan. That's that's Jordan. That is alright.
Yeah, Pix does that. He makes a save and just has to point and shout at someone, doesn't he? It's like, come on, you made a good save. Just take it in. He's in the Italy squad and I think he's kind of making a bigger name for himself and hopefully he can play for Italy sooner rather than later.
Right, mate, I don't want to get into the roast dinner thing, but basically being the entertainer, being that guy who's like the glue of the changing rooms, you know what I mean? There's always talking, always trying to have a laugh. Is that something that you've prided yourself on being?
I've always been that type of guy, you know, like the showman likes to be centre of attention a little bit at school and stuff like that, like having the spotlight and the responsibility on the kind of thing. And I enjoy that, that's when I'm at my best, you know, like, I like when we have a game and I do the interview before and they're talking about me and stuff. It puts a bit more pressure on some people who don't like it, but I just feel like that's when I'm at my best, you know.
Some of these interviews, mate, honestly, like, it's been going for years now. I remember you doing it a couple of years ago and everybody was just jumped on it and was like, oh my gosh, that's like a breath of fresh air. Imagine that, a footballer who knows how to talk. He just talks normally and sensibly. Where does that come from? Is that just your upbringing or what?
When we were scholars and we were like transitioning from obviously schoolboy to professional, we did media training and I absolutely hated it. We'd have to answer a question and you'd be told if you made a mistake kind of thing or not. And something just didn't really sit right with me, I didn't really like it. And I just feel like these days there's so many footballers and even like footballers that I know, mates that I've got in the game, that are brilliant lads, that are funny, loads of personality, that do an interview and I'm just like,
that's not you.
Geez, what are you doing? That's not even you talking. Like that's just because they're just programmed like subconsciously to talk because we don't want to make a mistake and we don't want to say the wrong thing and it's quite, for some people it can be quite intimidating when you've got a big camera in your face or a mic like that and you know you're going out on Super Sunday kind of thing and let's just go back to basics and not what they know. Ultimately, it's my opinion that you're after. That's why I'm doing the interview. So I'd rather give it and give what I honestly think. And if people want to question it or disagree with it, then they can. But that's my opinion, and that's what I think. So.
Well, long may it continue, mate. We absolutely love it. Is that part of that? That's when we see you on the pitch as well, and kind of having a bit of banter with the fans and stuff like that. Obviously, it's that famous Bournemouth clip where. You know, you didn't quite put the ball in the quadrant, and the fans are, you know, they're going mad in there. They're going mad. Is that something that you buzz off doing as well?
I only did that one because I heard what they were singing when I was jogging out about. Repeat it. You can put a clip in with the beeps maybe, but it was Southgate's right. I knew from about 15 yards away what I was doing, and I knew I had the last lap all along. I love that dynamic of the pantomime villain kind of thing. A little bit back, as long as it doesn't get taken too far. I remember when Jack Grealish got hit by the Birmingham fan running on, like, if you get one idiot who takes it too personally or something, you end up with something like that. But no, that dynamic, as long as it's still in good faith, like even just like almost like the celebrations in front of the away fans and stuff, like it does rile them up, but it's all good fun and games. I like a bit of that. So but you've got to be able to take it as much as you can give it, so I'm happy to do that.
Alright, can we go and play a bit of pool and talk about England in a minute, yeah?
Yep. How was your brew?
Incredible, mate.
Polish that off, yeah.
Mate, before we go, why is Harry Potter on your kitchen table?
Good question. Massive Harry Potter fan.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's my birthday the other day, wasn't it? So Mrs. got me an authentic signed Daniel Radcliffe's signature with his one nice picture, so that'll go in the games really nicely. I think the producers liked it, didn't they? Wanted it in shots, so I think that's why it made the interview. But I'm a little geek when it comes to Harry Potter, so...
Have you met him before?
No, I could never meet him. As I've said before, I don't ever want to meet Daniel Radcliffe. He's Harry Potter to me. He's like my hero, man. I don't...
Like a genuine hero?
Every year I watch all the films at Christmas. My mates and I say to me, my family, like, do you not get a little bit bored if you watch it every year?
I'm the same as you, mate. I love Harry Potter.
I love Harry Potter trivia. There's a couple of Harry Potter games up by the pool table, so sorry for being a geek.
Nah, I love it. Come on, Paul, let's go. Right, mate, I'm going to beat you at pool in a minute, yeah? But first, we're in, like, your game room kind of thing, and there's about 50 shirts. I thought I had a decent shirt collection, right? But you've got about 50 shirts around here, some unbelievable ones. Which one out of all of these is your favourite?
My favourite one I probably haven't got up yet, to be fair. I got Cristiano's shirt last year when we played him in the Premier League against United, so that one will definitely... That's the favourite. That's the one I always wanted. Favourite one that I've played, these are all players I've played against, so I don't have any shirts of teammates. I always kind of keep it traditional of when you swap shirts, you know. I haven't just asked a teammate. These are all like opposition that I've played against. Eden Hazard, I played against, obviously in the Premier League, but that one is from when we got Chelsea in the FA Cup when I was still at Norwich, so big draw for us. Like, Hazard's one of my favourite players. So that one's probably my favourite out of all the ones I've swapped. And then I've got, obviously, the Maddison one there, the England one, is my first ever start for any England team. So,
what was that,
21's game, yeah. It's just the first time I stood there and sung the anthem, and I remember thinking, I'm going to keep this shirt.
The anthem.
It was at Bramall Lane against Ukraine for the 21s.
Yeah.
So, I just remember singing the anthem and thinking, that gave me proper goosebumps, like singing God Save the Queen, and I just thought I'm going to keep that shirt, and we had a good result and got an assist for Calvert-Lewin, so it's a good game.
That brings us nicely onto England then. Only 5 caps so far. You're 27 years old. It's mad to think you've only got 5 caps. Seriously, it is. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass here or anything, but it's mad to think. Do you know what I mean? There's been so much talk around Maddison should be starting, Maddison should be playing. How do you view your time with England so far?
Just getting going, I would say. Yeah, just kind of almost feeling like a starting. Even though I was in the squad for the 2018-19 season. So,
maybe 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, I had a little period out of the squad where there was times where I probably was harsh on myself and probably wasn't maybe playing at the level, fluctuating, probably wasn't as consistent as I wanted to be at Leicester if we're going back 3-4 years. Well, I was asking myself, did I do enough to be in the squad? There was talk, obviously, from the outside of Maddison's not in the squad again, blah, blah. And then in the build-up of the next 2 years, there was times where I was playing really well, and eventually forced my way back in for the World Cup.
What was that like, getting called up into the squad?
Well, yeah, I didn't think I was going to because I was playing so well, and the season before I scored 18 goals from midfield for Leicester in all comps, and I just don't know, I didn't get called up, and then I started the season really well again. And ended up getting called up last